All right, welcome back. This week we're working on Chapter 26 in the America book. You should have taken the Unit 2 test, and hopefully that went well. We're now going to be talking about Chapter 26, which is going to be heavily geared towards or themed in the Great Depression, which I assume that you already know. And so hopefully this will really be a refresher for you, and we can look at several different things about the Depression that maybe you hadn't thought of before. But there's an assignment this week that I want you to do that I think will help to understand your understanding of the Depression. And so I'm going to get to that in just a second. First, I want to talk about a couple of other things. First, a return to normalcy. We're going to, after World War I, get into this era of normalcy. It's not just coming home from war, but also women with the 19th Amendment get the right to vote. And so we get suffragettes who are not pushing for the right to vote any longer, which is a good deal for most Americans who are tired of that movement. Okay. And so you don't have women protesting any longer, at least in that respect. We go back to an idea of isolationism, or the theory of isolationism, and really this idea that we're going to go back to caring about ourselves, and what we need to do is look inwardly as a country and try to figure out ways that we can move the country forward. Okay, this leads to an era of conservatism. Okay, this era of conservatism is what gets Calvin Coolidge elected, who is a pro-business, less taxes candidate. And his idea is that we're going to grow the economy with less taxes, more tariffs, especially and try to raise domestic product. And this is going to then lead to the Great Depression. Okay. These types of ideas, though, are the ones that I want you to pay attention to as you read this week. They're not going to be, we may test on them in Unit 3, but really what I'm looking for is for you to look at some of these ideas and themes: return to normalcy, isolationism, the era of conservatism, and the growth of the economy, and how all of those things may potentially lead to the Great Depression. Okay, the Great Depression, there's so many factors, and I had a lot of different ideas in order to help you to understand that. And really what I thought is that I'd have you watch the crash course video this week on the Great Depression. It's, I think, 10 to 15 minutes long. It shouldn't take you very, very long, but with the reading coupled with that video, you should be able to answer a question this week that's geared towards what you believe is the most significant factors that led to the Great Depression. So what I'm looking for is really an idea of, in 250 words, trying to find out, after you've done your reading and watched the video, of what led to the Great Depression. What do you think led to the Great Depression? There's not really a wrong answer here. It really is about what you believe is significant, what you found significant about that in the text and the video. Take a look at both, read the sections that I've asked you to read this week, and then watch that video, and then make the argument for why you think your three factors are more significant than any other. Now, that's up to you what those three factors might be. There are a few things that lead to the stock market crash, but really what we see is high tariffs, law enforcement, or lax enforcement of antitrust laws, and a few other, there's so many things. And one of the ways that we could have done this is through reading some primary source documents, but I thought that might get taxing. As I sat through a conference a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the Great Depression and the stock market crash, and I think that this is going to be a funner and at least help you to kind of come up with your own opinion as to why the Great Depression happened. So I'm excited to look for that and see what it is that you're looking at as the most significant pieces, or three factors that are more significant. Really, that's what we're looking at this week. Great Depression. It's why I pull out Chapter 26 as a piece that we want to go over. You should already have an understanding of that, but this is going to give you a more fuller understanding, and then a much broader idea of how do you see the Great Depression happening, and how do we see some of these things that were implemented or a lack of implementation that leads to it. So I hope that you find this section fascinating. It's one that is a watershed moment in American politics, or in American history, not just politics, but in American history. And so I hope that you're able to see that and then provide some analysis as to why you think that your three factors are more important, or at least significant. If you have any questions, as usual, you can call me, email me, whatever, stop by my office, whatever you need to do, and we'll go from there. I hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you later.